Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning will begin on a nonprofit organization that was established in 1910 as an informal group of community leaders who bought animals and raised funds for the zoo. Fast forward 107 years, and the Zoological Society is still a driving force behind Milwaukee Zoo. Their mission is to conserve, educate, and support the Milwaukee County Zoo. And my first guests are Katie Krecklow. She is the communications coordinator for the Zoological Society of Milwaukee, and Stacy Vogel Davis serves as the publications manager. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you both for being here. And as I stated, the Zoological Society of Milwaukee has a rich history of helping the Milwaukee County Zoo maintain its reputation as Wisconsin's premier educational and cultural treasure, and a treasure it is. So if you would tell us more about what it is you do.
Sure. The Zoological Society is the nonprofit part of the zoo. So as you said, we help conserve, educate, and support the Milwaukee County Zoo.
Yeah, and a lot of times people get the Zoological Society mixed up with the zoo. So just for all the viewers out there, what is the difference, even though you guys do work hand in hand?
Sure. Like I said, part of it is it's the nonprofit part of the organization. So people probably know us but don't know us. We do the zoo passes, which is a big part of the Zoological Society.
Yes, and a big part of raising those funds for the zoo. We'll talk more about the zoo pass and how people can get their hands on one in just a little bit. But looking back over the years, the society has raised more than $7.6 million to support the Milwaukee County Zoo. So let's discuss some of the ways that you are able to raise money and how that money goes to help make a difference.
Yeah, well, we've got all kinds of fundraising events and ways that we raise revenue for the Milwaukee County Zoo. That $7.6 million, I believe that was in fiscal year 2015, so that's about how much we're raising each year. So our biggest program is, of course, the Zoo Pass. We've got about 50,000 member households. So if you have a Zoo Pass, you're actually a member of the Zoological Society. And then we also have fundraisers throughout the year. So we've got Zoo Ball, that was back in June. That's our biggest fundraiser of the year. Other fundraisers go on throughout the year. We also have a major gifts department that raises large gifts from corporations and individuals, and a sponsored animal program. There's just all kinds of little ways we work all throughout the year to
and
raise
I think
money.
we will definitely take some time to break down some of those so people can have a better understanding and maybe even participate in some form or fashion. So you're able to bring in exceptional animal, environmental, and science-based educational opportunities to children, adults, and the family as a whole. So I want to talk about some of those programs. You offer year-round classes and camps, and you've got something special coming up in September, right?
Yep, fall classes are starting. Registration is officially open.
Wow.
And they fill up quickly. People with Zoo Passes can register first with a little bit of a discount. But there's tons of classes for kids of all ages, from stroller safari, so exactly how it sounds. A child in the stroller gets to go around the zoo. We go up to ages 14, and there's also family classes and adult photography classes.
Oh, wow, photography classes, because it's a great place to really catch all of the animals like in their element.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and you really don't know what you might see through those lenses, right? So that's really fun. Sometimes people forget that the zoo is open all year long. So if people get an opportunity to see these animals, and we were just talking about, you know, an adult taking a photography class, but really going to the zoo in the summer and then maybe going back in fall and winter, you're seeing how these different animals adapt to temperatures and climate change, all these different things, right?
No, exactly. And, you know, in the winter, we have, you know, hibernating bears or just some animals that can't be outside all the time, but you can see some inside. We have plenty of buildings and things like that. But yes, it's fun year round, 365 days.
Yeah, the polar bears, I guess, have the most fun, right, in the winter. I'm just guessing. Also, along the lines of education, you guys have Cole's Wild Theater, and you're using different ways to communicate and engage with children. Talk more about that.
Sure. It's thanks to a great partnership with Kohl's Cares. And during the summertime, every single day, 4 times a day, there are performances at the Kohl's Wild Theater. And they're all conservation-based, and we have puppets. Some are musicals, just really entertaining for kids, but it always gives a positive message. Year-round, they can also travel for free to community events, church festivals. They were at Summerfest. And then during the school year, schools can book them to come free and do conservation-themed themed plays and musicals.
That's pretty hot. I love it. Your education building at the Milwaukee County Zoo, it's pretty extraordinary in the sense that you guys do a lot in really paying attention to the environment. You've got a green roof, and there's other ways that the Zoological Society really uses those funds that you build to help conserve and go green with the zoo in itself, right?
Yeah, well, conservation is one of our missions. So the education building opened in 2005, and it does have that green roof and some energy efficiencies to help save energy that way. And then we also support the zoo in their conservation efforts. So they've got several solar panels that helps generate energy that way. They've got a lot of rain gardens, things like that. They've got some porous ground pavement that helps absorb some of that rain, so it's not going in the stormwater. All kinds of little things. You know, there's a couple of compost areas behind the scenes, like for the food that's given to the animals. You know, the peels and all that kind of stuff goes into the compost. And they're improving every year. And they actually have an intern every year that helps them find more ways to be green.
I love that. And it's ironic that we're going to be talking about conserving water and really looking out for the environment and helping make a difference in the next segment. So thank you for sharing that. The conservation of wildlife and endangered species is a huge part of what you do within the Zoological Society. So as a matter of fact, you guys have an award-winning Bonobo and Congo Biodiversity Initiative. I got that out. So you're celebrating 20 years. That's amazing.
Yeah, we are super excited about the anniversary of BCBI. And a lot of people don't know about it, but we have actually a research base in the Democratic Republic of Congo in Central Africa.
Wow.
And that's the only country where bonobos are found. So they're a species of great ape. They're, along with chimpanzees, they are the closest relatives to humans.
Okay.
And they are highly endangered. So we have our conservation coordinator, Dr. Gay Reinhardt. She spends 6 months of the year in the Congo studying these bonobos and helping find ways that we can protect them. And we also have a staff, a Congolese staff that lives year-round, you know, in the Congo, and they're off doing surveys, trying to count just how many bonobos are left in the area that we're studying, because we still don't know. You know, we don't know exactly where they like to live. And we're just finding ways to protect them. And we're also supporting anti-poaching patrols. So we're paying some of the guards in that area, and at the same time protecting all of the wildlife there, including forest elephants and all the animals that live there.
Yeah, and so many animals really become endangered because of poaching and habitat loss. So do we have any bonobos at the Milwaukee County Zoo?
We have 21.
Really?
Which
That's
is
amazing.
It's the most at any zoo in North America.
Yeah. Wow, I wasn't expecting that large number. So that's amazing.
But they're fun to watch. They're outside right now. They have a fun outdoor exhibit, and they are fun to watch.
Yes, and of course we've made it clear that the Zoological Society is all about education. So I've learned quite a bit in preparing for this interview. So the bonobos share 98% of the DNA with humans.
Yes.
So that's amazing just to kind of watch what they do that's similar to us. And then, if I remember correctly, with this particular group, the female leads.
Yes.
I really knew there was something special.
Bonobos they're a really interesting animal. So they're matriarchal. They're kind of known sometimes as the hippie ape, because unlike chimpanzees, which are very aggressive, they fight a lot, bonobos tend not to fight as much. So
because they're women.
Yes,
the women are leading.
They solve things more through affection as opposed to aggression, and you know, they have some interesting behaviors, and they're very tight knit. Like you know, the groups are, you know, they squabble sometimes, but you know, the groups, all the animals have their role, and you know, all the women work together to raise the babies, and it's really interesting, and it can really teach us a lot about human behavior as well.
Yeah, and that's what makes the zoo in itself really interesting and exciting. Every time you go, there is something new to learn. So you're not just kids either, adults as well, because this conversation we're having, I find very intriguing, that, you know, the chimpanzees and other, and the monkey family, they are leading by male dominance, but then this particular group is all about the woman taking charge. Yeah. I keep emphasizing that, right? So I think it's important for us to talk about how people who are watching at home can help make a difference when it comes to conserving and educating and all the things that the Zoological Society stands for. So first and foremost, tell us how, in fact, they can go about sponsoring an animal.
Sure, there's tons of different kinds. We have one of the lower ones is the Kids Conservation Club. So it's $20. The kids get their names on a board. They get fun facts about the specific animal that year that they are sponsoring. And then the memberships kind of go up from there. There's a limited time one where you get a plush toy, but all the animal sponsors once a year get to be part of this great behind the scenes event.
Wow, and these sponsorships are renewable every year, so you can pick the same type of animal or switch it up, whatever the case, it's your choice.
And they make great gifts. I mean, Christmas and graduation, all that kind of stuff.
Looking for something different, that's it. So kids can learn more about endangered species and ways they can help through this Kids Conservation Club that you mentioned. So I think that this is a great time to give out your website address so that people at home can kind of get more information on all of the things that we've talked about. And we really just hit the tip of the iceberg. There's so many things.
No, exactly. If you just go to zoosociety.org, there you can look for sponsorships, education, the Zoo Pass, everything is right there.
Yeah, and you talk about the Zoo Pass. I'm glad you brought that up because you've been able to bring in more than $6 million with Zoo Pass memberships. What are some of the perks that go along to becoming a member of the Zoological Society?
Sure. One of my favorite things when I became a Zoo Pass member is if you have a couple hours in one day, you just want to quick run into the zoo, take a walk, see your favorite animal. It doesn't have to be a big full day. Go anytime that you want. About 2 visits, you've already got your money paid for. And other things, education classes. You get to sign up first for education classes, and you get discounts to all of our fundraising events as well. So those are the biggest things.
We've also got a couple of member events in the summer. Nights in June and Kids Nights are very popular. People come to them every year. You get to come. Only members come. It's at night. It's free. You get to see all the animals. There's crafts and music and all that kind of stuff.
So all of those perks, and at the same time, you're helping make a difference in, all the different things that the Zoological Society is doing to help keep the Milwaukee County Zoo at the top of the list.
You're supporting the zoo and all they do and all of your favorite animals.
I love it. So you did mention your Zoo Ball being one of your biggest fundraisers, and that's been going on since 1994. Do you have to be a member to attend that ball, or can you just keep your eye on the calendar?
Yeah, you do not have to be a member.
Okay,
it's open to everyone. We've got a lot of corporate tables and individuals that buy tickets as well.
Okay, and so a couple of things that I wanted to go over because, like I said, the zoo always has something going on, and you guys really play a role in a lot of the things. So with the Zoo Pass, you've got Zoo a la carte that is tied in, right?
Yeah, Zoo a la carte, it's a really popular event at the Milwaukee County Zoo. So people with Zoo Passes come every single day that you want, and it's free, and then you can spend your money on the food if you want.
And even for everyone else, because this is something I look forward to every year, it's actually going on this weekend. So people get a chance to feast with the beast. And it's sponsored by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel every year. And the thing is you really are getting a chance to not only enjoy all that the zoo has to offer, but you've got all of these restaurants from around the city and surrounding areas that have come in, and you're kind of taste testing and enjoying the animals all at the same time.
Exactly, and there's music and things like that, all around.
Best time.
Yeah, exactly, and if you can't make it to that, we have plenty of other events coming up. We have the Ride on the Wild Side, September 10th. You get to ride your bike once a year, ride your bike inside of the zoo, and that's September 10th.
I'm going to do that.
There's, I'm not an expert, so there's a 2.5-mile ride around the zoo, or there's a 27-mile ride.
Wow.
So anywhere in between.
I'm going to try to do that. Yeah. I'll change that real quick. You also have on September 1st, senior celebration. So all of the guests who are 55 and older are able to take advantage of all the great things that the zoo has to offer.
Yeah, they get to come in for free before 1 p.m. And really see what it's all about.
Yeah, and I do encourage everyone to check the website because the zoo has events going on all year long, whether it's Halloween, whatever the case, there is something going on, and the Zoological Society does such an outstanding job in really keeping the Milwaukee County Zoo right there at the top of the list of all the great zoos in our country.
Absolutely.
So thank you all.
Appreciate
you both being here. It's my pleasure. Katie Krecklow is the communications coordinator for the Zoological Society of Milwaukee, and Stacy Vogel Davis, she serves as the publications manager. For more information on anything that we've discussed today, you can visit their website again at zoosociety.org. or call 414-258-2333. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll take a look back and discuss the importance of conserving water and how you can help make a difference with the Southeastern Wisconsin Watersheds Trust Incorporated. We'll do that right after this.